Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala ashraf al-mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi tasliman. Once again, I greet you all, my dear viewers at home on SAHUR Live. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In continuation of our discussion yesterday on the Islamic principles of leadership in a diverse community, we try to look at the principle of justice. We try to look at the principle of fairness and transparency in sharing, distribution, the state resources. We equally look at 5 basic necessities of life that leaders in any community must ensure that they are able to protect those things. The protection of the religion, the protection of life, protection of the intellect, protection of the progeny, and the protection of the property. All these must be seen that the leadership in any diverse community are trying to protect them. Now, in continuation of our discussion, I want to look at the issue, another critical issue in a diverse community. And we are emphasizing this issue of diverse community because some of these things, if it's purely an Islamic state, the presentation will not follow this order. But now we recognize Nigeria to be a diverse community under one leadership. And that leadership, based on Islamic principles of leadership, must be able to do the following. One of the things we want to add this morning is the promotion of ethical standards. Promotion of ethical standards. Now, the issue of ethics has nothing to do whether somebody is Muslim or somebody is a Christian or somebody does not have any faith. Because I did not witness or known any religion that will say killing is right, or that will say corruption is good, or that will say stealing is the order of the day. Since all these things, everybody go against it, then it means we have certain ethics in common, and that should be seen. That in our personal and organizational life, the leadership in the diverse community must be strengthening the culture of ethical practices, ethical standards in everything. Now, how do we go about this as a leader? And what do we need to do? Now, the first thing is that rules and regulation must be so clear to every citizen. We shouldn't be hiding what is governing. Yeah. Take, for example, there is a road that we designate as one way, and there are officers that are monitoring that road. Islamically, what those officers should be doing is that at the point of entering that one way, an officer should have been there diverting them against that place. Islamically, we shouldn't be hiding somewhere and be arresting people because they pass through that one way. Now, what we need to promote is that we do everything so that after doing that, whoever now breaks the rules and regulations, then it will be properly sanctioned. So ethics must be promoted. And when we are promoting ethics, we should be able to look. Take, for example, it is no longer a news that as a country we are facing a serious problem on the issue of corruption. And when we are discussing corruption every day, we tend to discuss it much more around finance, that is financial corruption. But there are other key areas that this corruption can equally be looked at. But before going, because in Islamic law or practice, now when there is difficulties in the society, even in fact, in Islamic law, at times, when there are certain difficulties in society, there are certain rules that will be stepped down for things to come back to normal. Now, we have been discussing corruption, and people will be discussing around different organizations. But what other things are we trying to avert it in terms of our reward system? We have been talking about those who are being corrupt. What have we been doing as a country for those who are not corrupt? That they work sincerely and they are pleased with whatever is their take home. Have they been getting anything in terms of our reward system? Surely, if we are not doing that one, then we need to call ourselves to order. Now, in the emphasis in the area of promotion of ethical standard is that rules must be one and it must cut across everybody. That's the key message. All ethical issues must be one and must cut across everybody. Once this is our law, then it must be for everybody. The idea of doing selective judgment will not make us to be fair and transparent and be just to the citizens. So what does that translate to? Is that a particular person, two people committed the same offenses, but they are having different punishment. Then that is not fair enough based on Islamic understanding. So the leadership of a diverse community using Islamic principles must bring about rules and regulations that is unique to everybody. That is unison to everybody, and in terms of the judgment, it has to be equally be one at all times. Now, another area we need to look at as a matter of principle Islamically is that when it becomes issue of appointment into position of responsibility, we should place emphasis on competency. Yeah, the idea of not placing emphasis on competency, but we bring some other factors into it, will not allow us to get the best out of our people. Now, as a country, it's a diverse community. Everybody must get. But what we are saying is that we must spell out the criteria for any appointment, and we must look for the best in that area. Yes, I agree. We can say this position is meant for a particular state, but we must ensure that we look for the person in that state that is most competent to do the job, without any for the fact that somebody is not in a particular party, but he has the skills to demonstrate a particular work, does not mean we shall not make use of him. I'm discussing strictly under Islamic principles for anybody who wants to use it in running a diverse community. Yeah, you have to equally establish as a leader a responsive approach to issues. What are we trying to say is that we shouldn't be delaying things for time. Take, for example, during the time of Umar bin Khattab, who is just doing a parade at night and discovered there's something wrong with a particular household, and immediately ran back to the Muslim treasury and solved the problem. What that means that the speed at which a leader must respond to issues must be something very, very fast enough to take care of that issue. So when we are talking about rapid response, it has to cut across all issues from Islamic point of view. More importantly, the issue of judgment in our judiciary system. We need to expedite actions so that things, we shouldn't be seeing criminals walking on our street all the name because he has been given bail and cannot be moving, and that is sending a wrong signal to the society. So we need to see how we want to run things like this. We equally want to look at the issue of our reward system. Our reward system as a country, and here I'm talking in the area of the administration of our salaries and emoluments. Yes, in Islam, what determines what is basic emolument or wages or salary is what can take care of the three basic needs of life. The shelter, your take home must be able to take care of your shelter, must be able to take care of your clothing, and must be able to take care of your feeding. So we need to. So I'm not bothered about what is the figure, as long as he's able to take care of this basic need of life. So on the Islamic principles of leadership in the diverse community, we need to look at what are we giving. Can this be actually, what we call take home, can he actually take them home? If not, then we need to look at something. And in solving this problem, if you want to be just, we have been hearing, but we want to appeal that issue of accommodation is very paramount to the life of human being. And when the government is paying attention to the issue of building accommodation, they should actually provide accommodation that can meet up the earnings of each cadre of civil service we have. So when you are giving an accommodation and that the savings somebody can make in the entire 35 years that person work in the system cannot even buy that house, then of what benefit is that house to that person? So we need to look at something like this. So in a nutshell, when we promote all these things, it's going to eliminate in totality the opposite of this. If you allow the opposite of what we have discussed yesterday and this morning to be the order of the day, there is going to eliminate all what we have been discussing. Now, to have a balance, what we need to do, we need to bring on board that all our activities are in line with the principle of Islam. And the foremost things in the principle of Islam is that we have to do everything to satisfy our Creator. Let us be God conscious. We are in Ramadan, the month that prepares us towards godliness. Let us be God fearing in all our approaches. We are all leaders in our right, and let us imbibe Islamic principles of leadership wherever we find ourselves. In our street, we have diverse community within the estate, within the locality, within the state, within the country. Anytime, any day, let us uphold the principle of justice. Let us uphold the principle of transparency. Let us uphold the principle of fairness in anything we are doing, and we should try to shun all the opposite of what we have mentioned so that we can have a peaceful coexistence as a country. Being diversified, we should be able to live together and convert our diversification into our strength so that we can be leading others in different ramifications. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our siyam, we ask Him to accept our salah, and we ask Him to accept all our righteous deeds in this blessed month of Ramadan, overlook our shortcomings, and accept all our ibadah and reward us with His Jannah. May Almighty Allah continue to be with us, preserve us for His goodness, and continue to be with NTA and all the staff that are promoting this our life. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.